Okay, now that we got the technical nonsense out of the way, good morning, everybody. It is the main event mixer. We are coming to you live from the hub of wrestling, the Main Event Network YouTube channel. This is ad-free, in case anybody wants to know. We are about to take an axe and a hammer to WrestleMania Night 1 and give you all of our opinions and nonsense on Night 2. And with me, I am Jay Gold, one half of the NXT Night Shift, 1/3 of the Indie Wrestling Guide. And with me, I have Tim Vicious of Vicious Rants joining me.
Thank you.
And I have,
well,
he's already cracking it early this morning.
Days.
Yeah. And I have both of one of my favorite podcasts, the Wrestling Junkies. I have Podcast Dad and I have Mr. Cincinnati. Boys, how are you?
Next question.
Listen, last night was I can only say that last night could be, and I don't know if this is hyperbole, one of the worst WrestleManias that we have ever had the privilege to watch. And I mean, the sheer amount of advertising and the sheer amount of nonsense that was filled in between the very little wrestling that took place on something called WrestleMania is some of the worst crap ever. So, Mr. Cincinnati, I'm going to start with you. I think we lost Podcast Dad for a minute, so I'm going to start with you. Why don't you give me what you thought, and we'll start getting into it.
We tried so badly to be optimistic about this card, despite the build. I think that there was more of a sprint than a marathon over the last couple of months. But usually, the in-ring action delivers to make up for what we don't see on Raw and SmackDown in the lead up to the event. I can't believe this. They dropped the ball. I mean, nothing about this show felt spectacular the way that we're used to seeing when it comes to WrestleMania. The set was cool, but that was, even that was a little bit of a play on last year's set design. Entrances, I mean, if you really want to call it a spectacular entrance, Cody got one for the main event. Liv did her dance routine, and we'll come back to that later. Man, I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed. I figured at least the in-ring action, and I mean, two of these matches on the card, I was very, very excited for. I mean, Jacob Fatu and Drew McIntyre, Seth Rollins and Gunther, but just a letdown all around as a whole. I mean, even like Bianca, I think that was the best surprise of the night because they actually kept their fucking mouth shut on that one. Yeah, but the return of Paige, if we knew that Nikki couldn't go, I don't understand why you would. Yeah,
on that one.
What'd you say, Tim?
I'm pissed at PW Insider for reporting on that because that would have been a hell of a great surprise, especially with what Cole led on commentary. Because I even threw that out there on my Twitter. Cole said word for word, nobody would have expected Paige to return to WrestleMania except for PW Insider, who reported a few days beforehand she re-signed.
Well, I'm going to say this for a show that's called the Showcase of the Immortals that they have constantly done has honestly, I don't. Number one is I don't understand why the matches were so short. What are you rushing out of there for? What was the point of 8 minutes? WrestleMania deserves. This is supposed to be the culmination of a year's worth of feuds, a year's worth of stuff, and it turns into 8-minute matches. One match was the longest, 14 minutes. For Gunther and Seth. Everything else was under 10 minutes. Maybe Cody and Randy went a little longer, but that was just filled with garbage. There was nothing. And I am a huge WWE mark, as everybody makes fun of me about. I always have been. And it has turned into an absolute mess of. This reminds me almost of like a dystopian future where advertising leads the world and you have to, and it's all you do. I mean, I don't understand what we were doing. It's supposed to be, you're there for wrestling, not to watch ads on a screen. If I paid $400 for a seat in the upper deck, like some of these people did, I would be furious. I'm sitting here watching television instead of watching what is supposed to be on television. WWE has always been our wrestling. We enjoy it. We love what wrestling is. But honestly, how dare you? Like, that's ridiculous at this point. It's utterly ridiculous that we sat through that many minutes of advertising in between matches. There were no videos to show us, the feud culminations. They didn't put there was no Limp Bizkit. Where was the video? Yeah. Where was the Randy Cody Rhodes video that gives us the Limp Bizkit? Where's the hype? There was zero hype before each match. The matches were just there.
I was actually going to say that pretty much that's why the matches were so short and culminated, because this is the business part of me thinking out loud here, but now that it's TKO and they're doing this stuff, this, that, and the other, they're trying to get as much of a cash grab as they can with advertisers and ads on everything. That's why you see like Credit One plastered on turnbuckle pads, Red Bull, this, that, and the other. Even Green Shirt Guy had his name paid to have his name written on the mat. It's pretty much coming into that, and it's going to be eventually to the point you're getting, hey, this match, we're going to have the Snickers presents so-and-so Hell in a Cell, brought to you by whatever the fuck.
I mean, I didn't mind. And Eric, I don't know if you remember this last year. Was it last year or 2 years ago when each match was kind of like was advertised? Remember they changed like the advertising in the LEDs and things like that. And every match had fine, but at least the matches were 15, 20 minutes, know?
Yeah. And even that last year felt odd when they first started doing that, but this is worse. I mean, like I said, we know the cash grab is coming. That's it, and they've been not shy about it either. So you know that it's going to happen, but the degree to which it happens, this was pretty. I mean, an hour and 24 fucking minutes on a 4-hour show.
Yeah,
Liv and Stephanie went off at 8:45. Your main event doesn't kick off until 9:30.
I mean, it
take the lack of amount of time in the ring kind of reminds me like on how it was 10 plus years ago, like in the 2015s and 16s, where like you would have 6 or 8 matches on a card and everything was so condensed into one small amount of time. It was just like felt like a clusterfuck.
I didn't mind the coming to you could take all the time you need. At least I'm immersed in the match. If you're taking, 5 minutes to get down to the ring, I don't care.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about the time it takes the entrance. I'm talking about like time from when they step out to the time the bell rings. You get like maybe 5 minutes or so in total.
Did you feel weird when I felt weird when the first match of the night, when the Logan Paul match went like, what was it, 6 minutes or something? I felt very strange. I was like, oh no. I'm like, why is this match? Why'd they give him only 7 minutes? And was it just a vehicle to let ISHO Speed jump off the top of the ring onto Logan Paul? Like there was zero. If I was LA Knight or the Usos, like you're giving me 5 seconds. Like I don't really understand what you're doing, giving me in the ring. And what are you rushing for?
It felt more weird at the fact that the unsanctioned match was that short.
That too, and no blood.
Think about it, an unsanctioned, no disqualification, street fight, whatever you want to call it, however you want to describe it. It's all the same type of match, right? That little amount of time. Hey, Dad.
Fucking WrestleMania. I'm messing with that.
Here he is.
Not even the interns. Not even the interns' fault this time.
Yeah,
no, I don't know what that was.
Eric, I think you were gonna you had something going just there.
Yeah. So I mean, Tim. Yeah, we get what an unsanctioned match should be. Triple H, Shawn Michaels, SummerSlam 2002. It's the best one that they've done. I mean, and that was obviously different time, a lot more color. They were trying to appeal to a broader audience on ESPN because they're giving away that first hour. If you open that first hour with ISHO Speed doing something fucking crazy like you did, which was a pleasant surprise because I expected Vision and ISHO Speed to win, but I wasn't expecting what we got as far as Speed having a moment to put him through a table. They wanted the views on that. For a company that is so bent on views, you'll save that, but you'll spoil Paige. And first hour, look, you want to appeal the violence, the chaos, because if you've never watched WWE before, you're going to see steel chairs and tables and all this other stuff. I can understand it from that respect. You also got Drew McIntyre, who's in the middle of filming a movie. So they don't want to do anything that's going to risk that, because that puts production out of work and that creates more problems than there should. But it was a very sanitized, unsanctioned match. I will agree with you there. But I understand wanting to put that on that first hour, because if you've never watched wrestling before and you've seen all that kind of shit, it's going to make you think, okay, well, what else is happening tonight? Especially because they're not, people are not familiar enough with WWE just yet to know that they like to piss on your head and tell you it's raining.
But the problem with the ESPN thing is you're showing the first hour. The first hour should be, it doesn't matter if you're watching a pay-per-view, the first hour shouldn't be dependent on ESPN going to commercial break. And that's what it was. It was completely dependent on that first channel going to commercial break. That's why we got 2 matches in an hour. You could get 4 in there in an hour. You give me 20 minutes a match. You have 4 matches, 3 matches, 20 minutes a match with intros. Instead, you're stuck with a 8-minute match with LA Knight, and then whatever the second one was, which I can't even remember. That's a problem. I can't remember that unsanctioned match because Jacob's entrance was cool. What's his name? Drew comes out. They're using wrenches, and there's no blood. You can't call. No feud should ever end where you're using weapons and but you don't see any kind of marking on the guy. I'm sorry. It's so silly. It's so silly. Chris, you want to jump in? Podcast Dad, you want to give us your...
That's what WWE is, though. It's all it's PG. That's what it is. It's just, it is what it is at this point. It's tough to watch an unsanctioned hardcore match, especially at WrestleMania week when you have all the other indie shows doing what they're doing, right? Yeah. Like you have AEW doing what they're doing. It's tough. It's just, I don't know.
I'm giving you 45 seconds here, podcast. And I want you to go ahead, go off, because you had a lot to say before when we jumped in. So give us yours.
My biggest part is we had in-ring wrestling time, 1 hour, 26 minutes total in 7 matches. We had 1 hour and 14 minutes of ad time. There was 12 minutes less of ads than wrestling. It's a 4.5 hour show for WrestleMania. I want to watch wrestling. I don't want to watch ads. We have gone so far the other way now. It's not good. When you watch WrestleMania back in the day, there were video packages for the upcoming matches. Every match had a video package. It made it feel like a big deal. None of these matches felt like a big deal except for that, because they had a video package. They had special entrances, all that good stuff, right?
Hulk Hogan had more screen time than a lot of them.
He did.
Yes. And that's not good. That's not good at all. It's just, this is not WrestleMania. What we have seen from TKO over the last 6 months is not wrestling anymore. This is straight up just entertainment. It's theater. It's not, you're going to you're not here for wrestling. If you're going to want to go watch wrestling, go watch the Indies, go watch AEW. What are your thoughts on AEW? It is what it is. It's a choreographed show, but at least they're fucking wrestling. At least I get to see matches. This is just, we have gone so far. And they started to sprinkle a little bit here and there with ads on the tables, with ads on the ring, with matches being sponsored, and that was fine. That was all well and good. But now we're at the point where you have, these are your matches: 7 minutes 10 seconds, 14 minutes 10 seconds, 8 minutes 55, 8:15, 15:45, 9, and 20:55. I'm going to go back 2 years ago to what we consider one of the better WrestleManias, right? So night one, you had 17 minutes for the opener, 17 minutes for the second match, 11 minutes, 8 minutes, 15 minutes, 44 minutes for 7 matches. You had wrestling. It's WrestleMania. You might as well just change the damn title to Adamania.
Yeah.
All right.
It is an absolute mess. And I understand that we are, we talk, we like what we like, but I mean, even to be hammered like this as fans, it really it really hurt us as fans who don't get up. We like it. We like wrestling, and it hurt us. I physically was like, I can't believe this is a WrestleMania Night 1. This reminds me of the disappointment I had after the Raw after WrestleMania that the last one Vince came in and destroyed. If you remember that one, it was like, I don't remember what year. Was it 22? The last year that Vince was in charge. Remember when they're like, he's coming back, and he came back with his villain mustache, and they let him do
when he came out and he's like, "Where have you all been?"
No, that was one where he was doing it from the shadows, but they said he tore up the entire show, and that night after WrestleMania was horrendous. And so I don't know. I think Vegas was a terrible idea to begin with. I think the Riyadh intro that they gave to next year was awful. There's zero buzz. I care so little about it that I probably will miss most of it because it's at 2:00 in the afternoon. And I just think if we're going to do this, and we're going to get into tonight because I think there's a little more hope. There's a brighter light for tonight. And let's talk a little bit about tonight because honestly, first match of the night, they really need to make the fans feel like they give a crap. And night 2 on ESPN, Oba versus Brock cannot be 8 minutes of advertising followed by a commercial break, followed by no hype video into Brock winning. There at this point, you cannot have Brock win this match tonight. You will completely deflate the entire crowd when this match starts. Mr. Cincinnati, I'm going to you first.
Mute.
All right, sorry about that. So if you guys read my article on the scrap, there were 3 matches that I was super excited about. Unsanctioned match, Seth and Gunther, and then obviously Oba and Brock here. After what I saw last night, I don't trust anybody. I'm pretty fucking worried now. I'm going to remain steadfast with my pick and go Oba Femi because, like, we're probably going to see Gunther retire Brock Lesnar, and he's going to continue to go on this run of dominance. Oba Femi can be that guy to take down Gunther. You need to build a monster babyface to take down a monster heel. Lightning in a bottle. I mean, I've said it on our show this week too. The poise that Oba Femi has for the small amount of time that he's been on the main roster, it's off the charts. I mean, this is a special talent that they have here. We haven't seen anybody this dominant since Brock Lesnar. Lean into that, I hope. I mean, Brock Lesnar, we're closer to the end than the beginning. Brock Lesnar is not nearly the box office attraction that he was in 2014, 15. I think since everything that has happened over the last few years and that leave of absence, it's people pop for Brock Lesnar. That initial guitar riff, it's like, okay, cool. And then it's like, oh, shit, you're back now. Like, you never know what kind of mood he's going to show up in to work. Obviously, he's been doing a great job with Oba Femi here. But, again, they're not in charge of the booking decisions here. All they can do is deliver in the ring, but they're going out with what they're told to do. Still going to say Oba Femi, but I am not nearly excited for this night as I was at 6 p.m. yesterday.
That's a huge problem. That is a huge problem. So, Tim, I'm going to give it to you next. What do you got?
Heart is saying Oba because this is the one match outside of Punk and Roman I've really been excited on. But because my favorite type of wrestling to watch is seeing two big athletic guys actually go at it where they actually can move and not just look like lumbering LJM figures. That's my type of match I would personally like to watch. But I want Oba to win. He's a hell of a talent. He's really good, and dude can go. I like Brock, but at the same time, I just can't help but think if they're going to make Gunther and Brock for SummerSlam, they're going to have to do something to make Brock look legitimate, to make Gunther go and say, hey, I want you, as opposed to just, oh, well, I'm just going to pick up Oba's scraps.
Well, it's not even necessarily picking up Oba's scraps. It's think about the entire build to that feud. We thought that we were maybe going to see Rollins versus Brock again until that music hit. So Brock, and this again, I've never seen Brock as spooked as he was when Oba's music hit for the first fucking time. That's a range that I didn't even know Brock had.
That's fair.
But it comes down to Paul Heyman then still had the Seth Rollins problem. Gunther's like, I'll take care of it for you, but you're going to owe me one. Regardless of what Brock does between now and SummerSlam, Gunther, who's been, again, collecting careers like Infinity Stones, all he has to say is, Paul Heyman, you owe me. Get me Brock in main event of SummerSlam. And you're going to do it. Because if you don't, you're going to have a problem with me.
I think my biggest concern here is twofold. It is this match is opening WrestleMania, okay, and it's on ESPN, and so automatically I am struggling, and I have fought. There's a few things that I have fought with people on TikTok on because we posted one video from the night shift, and it was they're like, no, Brock has to win. But I'm going to say this, and it gets me fired up because I'm a grown man who thinks things through. It's like reading a story. There is no reason for Brock to win. No reason. He's not winning a belt. He's not competing tomorrow. He is gone after today till the next big event. All him winning will do is give him a win. And tomorrow, Obafemi will have to come out, and you have this young, hungry beast who everybody loves, and he will have to start all over again. There is zero booking sense, and this is not from I'm not a Mark disgusting neckbeard who's touching people at WrestleCon. I'm a dad who sits here and thinks through things as an adult. There is zero. It'd be like watching a television show and they kill your favorite character who's the lead in the second episode and he never even gets started. There is zero reason for this man to lose the match. Brock should lose. He should realize this is exactly right from the boss man. He is vulnerable. He should get hammered by Obafemi, and Brock should understand his time is up. And Obafemi should come out tomorrow and say, I am looking for a world title. And everyone should be afraid. And that should be it. When Obafemi makes his move, he makes his move. Everything else is just noise. Anybody who tells you that Brock should win because it's best for business is an absolute moron. It doesn't make sense. There is no sense in Obafemi losing this match at all. There's no sense. It will not. There's no world would you go back? It just makes me so angry because the guy has so much potential. Aren't you excited? Don't you want to pop for him? Like when everybody wanted to cheer for Daniel Bryan when he won the world title, or Kofi, or Jey Uso. Everyone wanted to see the entire crowd doing this when he won. They wanted to see 50,000 people going, who for Oba. Nothing will come of Brock winning this match except for a bunch of fans who will be deflated. The rest of the show will be ruined. And that is not, I'm not talking out of school. The rest of the show will mean nothing if he loses this match. Podcast Dad, go ahead.
Mania when Sheamus beat Bryan in like 14 seconds. The whole
show was ruined. Completely ruined. Bullshit. Exactly. So Podcast Dad, go ahead.
No, everybody's right. Everybody's right. Oba needs to win. I
think we lost.
Needs to win. No, I'm trying to piece through myself. Like if Brock wins, what do we do here? Like I don't know. Like if Brock wins, what's the point?
He doesn't come back tomorrow. There's no tomorrow for him. It doesn't. He's not. He's gonna come. He's gonna go back to his Wyoming. You know, his plot of land, shoot deer, and come back in June. It's irrelevant if he wins. Absolutely irrelevant.
His decision ever, but it's WWE, and I don't have faith in them. More of it's TKO, and I really don't have faith in TKO right now.
But I don't understand what TKO gets out of it because Brock's not coming back tomorrow. He's not wrestling for another 4 months.
At the moment, in their eyes, Brock is the bigger star. He has the bigger contract. He makes the more money, right? Like to them, I would assume Brock is the bigger star. So,
but Chris, if you watched WrestleMania this week, all the stuff, okay, and I watched everything this week. Every word out of every wrestler's mouth, the only name that came out of even the pundits on ESPN who are morons who don't follow wrestling. The only thing that they said, they had two people on their minds, and I said this on Tino's show the other night. There were two names, and you're going to laugh at me, but there are two names: it was Obafemi, and it was Danhausen. Those were the only names people mentioned the entire week on TV leading up to WrestleMania. Obafemi winning against Brock is a number one priority, and Danhausen being Danhausen is the second priority.
Yeah, I think another caveat we got to talk about here. So Nick Khan says that he and Triple H got together after Mania last year and had a serious conversation about what the youth movement needs to look like now, because the majority of the main event talents are in their 40s. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying that. I mean, you know, it worked for a period of time in WCW to have stars of that age. It worked for their business model, and it can be done again. But if you are not balancing building additional talents, think of the fact that we didn't get a Carmelo Hayes, an Ilya Dragunov, a Chelsea Green, a Julia. I mean, so many other people that could have had. I mean, Io and Asuka, knowing what we know now, that there was only an hour and 24 fucking minutes of time, and you knew that you were going to put Paige in the tag team match. How fucking dare you?
Yep.
But if they are serious about building the youth movement here, as Nick Khan says that they are, there is only one choice here. There's only one choice here, and if they don't pull the trigger, live long, fuck off.
This isn't even a wrestling thing. This is even a wrestling thing. If my mother is 73 years old, she watches some of it with me. If I said to her, "Here's the plan. Look at the story that is unfolded," my mother would say, "This doesn't make sense." She watches NCIS like I do. She would say, "This doesn't make sense. Why would this person why would he need to win? Why did he win? No reason. When are we going to see him again? Who knows? But he's going to win because he needs a win. Why? Because nobody knows."
The decision's right there. It's them in the face. If they can't do it, I don't know. I don't know. And it may be the breaking point.
I would also hope, I mean, because obviously we don't know what production looks like when you have to work with Brock Lesnar, but he has enough power and influence to say, "I'm putting over Oba. Tell me I'm not," and see what happens. He has the power to do that.
I heard he's very easy to work with. I've
never heard anyone say anything negative about working with Brock. Saying
he said he puts the matches together that make sense. Yeah,
I don't know. Dean Ambrose might have something to say.
Well, Brock didn't think that Dean Ambrose was worthy, and I agree with him. By the way, I get crap all the time. I don't even like
at that time. I get it. I mean, if you have Brock versus Mox as he is now, I guarantee it'd probably be a different argument.
100%.
But Brock versus Dean Ambrose when he was still
gas mask wearing nonsense. Yeah,
this is pre-gas mask. This is still like just
when he was
removed from the Shield that you could have put that emphasis into making him a star in his own way. And have we seen some of those mocks?
Pre.
Okay.
So fine. Look, the four of us are in agreement. This would be, and I'm not going to be able to see it. So I know it's going to be spoiled, but I'm not going to be able to see it till I get home. I'm coaching a girls' flag football game, which is ridiculous. But I am praying to God. It's like when I leave when a Knicks playoff game is on and I don't watch it, and then I get home and I see who wins and loses, and I get myself all worked up. And it's like, oh, Jalen Brunson broke his leg or something during the game, and I'm like, I missed it. I am praying to God I come home and I don't get a flood of texts that say, "Oh no." Like, I am just praying to God that doesn't happen. I can't guarantee it won't, but I am praying. So let's go on to something a little more fun. Let's talk about the ladder match tonight. That is the next part of the ESPN debauchery. It is Rey Mysterio, Javon Evans, JD McDonough, Penta, and who is the fifth? I'm trying to decide.
Dragon Lee and
Rusev. Dragon Lee, who Nick Khan wants to get arrested by ICE, which is the dumbest thing I've ever heard come out of his mouth, or whatever he said they can't run. So you didn't hear his interview? He said he goes, "We can't be as risque anymore. It's not like we could have ICE come and arrest Dragon Lee on TV like the gimmicks." I've never heard anything so stupid.
Oh, well, yeah, because I think he was being asked about whether any political elements could be added into WWE stories.
But that's where he went, so that made me laugh. Yeah. That's where you thought? That's what you were thinking?
Can't have somebody go and take Rey Mysterio out the match because fuck Rey Mysterio.
Somebody do that.
Well, okay, so with that,
I'm on Ray Brown Hope's side.
Let's get that out there for CBH.
All right, with that, I'm going to go to Chris. Chris, what do you got for how this match is going to go? This is an ESPN made. This is like an X Games style nonsense from ESPN.
That's what it is. All right, it's a showcase for them. It helps them. Hey, look at all these crazy guys in this ladder match. Come by the show, kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Trying to do what the unsanctioned match was trying to do last night. Look at the spectacle kind of thing, right? My head says Penta because I think he just retains. There's no one in here jumping off the page for me to really get this IC title. It kind of feel like a Zack Ryder he won the night. My heart says Rusev because I just want to see Rusev win the title and do the United States running. I really enjoy that. I like Rusev, and I think we need another brute division. Give me Penta just because I think it's too early.
Derek?
If they're serious about the youth movement, Javon Evans. That is what my heart wants, but logically a Penta retention is totally fine. I mean, honestly, other than Mysterio, I would have no problem if anybody in this match walked out with the title. They could have found something else to do with Ray for Mania, I think. I mean, if losing to Gunther doesn't work for you, brother, we could have had Mr. Iguana. We could have had Vikingo, Dr. Wagner, Psycho Clown, anybody from AAA in the ladder match. Ray Phoenix. Yeah, like this. I mean, it's a 6-man ladder match. We've seen them do 7 or 8 men for the Intercontinental title. You could have Ilya, Mello, like.
Yep. It is a mess of an advertising sponsorship approval nonsense show, but I'm hoping that we get to see some sort of spots that'll make the crowd go ooh and ah. But my other problem is this: you're going from Oba and Brock Lesnar, a match where the crowd is going to be up here, to a ladder match where that ladder match should be maybe 2 or 3 matches later. The pacing is wrong. It's wrong. Yeah. It doesn't feel right. The next match should have been the women's title match, but because they already did this, because they already have gone to what they are doing, we have a big problem. So. I'm hoping that everybody is real hyped and having fun, but I think they're going to keep it on Penta because I think you have something there with him as well. You're selling masks. He goes and does really good things in the community. He's a really good person. People love him. There's no reason to take it off, and there's no one on that list that I see besides Javon who should win the belt. Tim?
I'm putting my money on Javon. Again, if we're talking about the youth movement and you want to go and show, hey, and you want to give that false bravado of, hey, look, we're investing into young, fresh talent. Look what we're putting on TV for everyone to see. We have this young guy here winning the title. What better way to do it?
Yeah, I'm with you on that. So all right, so we all kind of have different opinions who we would like, but we all know that this match being on ESPN will probably be ruined and will not be as hyped up as we want it to be.
It's going to be castrated before the bell even rings.
Yeah. So
it's probably going to be what, 8 minutes?
I'm thinking it's going to be. You're going to see what, 4 minutes for Brock and Oba, 8 minutes for the ladder match.
I mean, they're going to fit those both in an hour. So
a ladder match should be at least 20 minutes. You have to have time to develop each guy. Yep. Each guy has to develop some sort of story. It cannot be minutes or 12 minutes. It just can't. You'll completely devalue any of the match in general if you do that again.
Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So we're going to go from there to our next one. And I'm going to start with Tim on this one. This is the return of the Demon Balor versus Dirty Dom. And there's nothing on the line here. Which is also another surprising thing that nothing's ever on the line in any of these matches. So I'm going to you, Tim. Thoughts on this one?
I'm looking forward to more so to seeing Balor's demon entrance because then I've broken down the psychology behind the whole demon versus regular Finn aspect on my show a million times. The easiest way I can sum it up is if you've ever read Batman comics, Batman has made a separate subconscious in his head where it's basically like what happens if you take Bruce Wayne out of the equation. That pretty much sums up the whole demon aspect. It's Balor when you take Finn out of the equation, where the demon's more vicious, more aggressive, this, that, and the other kind of stuff. I'm looking forward to seeing that, but I am lowering my expectations more than I normally already do, which is saying something for me because seriously, you got to pretty much it's almost next to impossible to raise my expectations in any way. It's because the way this has been, it's just, and I try to be an optimistic person. I swear to God, I really do. But there's only so much hope I can give.
Yeah. Mr. Cincinnati, back up to you.
That ain't enough warning.
For a company that loves surprises so fucking much, I think they kind of lose the plot where they know there are things that we want to see. They absolutely know those sorts of things. But when when the goal is to advertise and to sell tickets and to get asses in seats, if you're going to spoil something like the Return of the Demon, you got to give me a surprise that's at least 10 times better. And I'm not sure that they're going to do that tonight. I mean, I'm glad that we're finally getting this match. We're way overdue here. This should have happened two and a half years ago, if you ask me. AAA Mega title should be on the line as well because it's a year since you've acquired that company. There is a lot that you can do to celebrate the fact that you have, brought them into the fold. But more importantly, Finn Balor's singles record over the last 3 or 4 years, basically since being in Judgment Day, is it's dog shit. So I am hopeful tonight that Finn gets the win. But AAA Mega title should be on the line.
Yes.
A loss here doesn't hurt Dirty Dom. This goes back to last year when they were in the Fatal 4-Way for the IC title. Dom got the win there, and there's no reason that Finn can't get a WrestleMania win here. It's been fucking ages since he's had a spotlight like this, and a singles opportunity here. I just hope they give him time to actually do their job. But give me Finn.
Okay, and I don't think it's possible. I mean, if you have him lose here, then all the aura of the Demon goes away. So, Chris, I'm going to you. Podcast Dad.
Yeah, I mean, the aura's already gone. Like, they've already run it into the ground enough as it is. But yeah, if he loses here, then don't ever bring it back, please. Like, I can't take it seriously. So he needs to win. Again, this is another obvious decision, in my opinion. Like, let Finn win. Let this storyline end. Let them both go do something different. Finn to SmackDown. Do something different, right? Like, just give me Finn. Please don't mess this up. Please.
Remember when they were going to do the Pumpkin Demon when he before COVID? I think it was, or was that what it was? He was supposed to be him and Bray, and it was supposed to be the Pumpkin Demon, basically.
Oh yeah,
it was
Sister Abigail.
It was Sister Abigail versus the Demon.
Yeah, and remember they did the
Demon looked kind of like it had like a pumpkin, a jack-o'-lantern pumpkin.
Yeah, they made him wear like a jack-o'-lantern face. He was Pumpkin Demon, but they never got the match off, which is great.
Yeah.
Best Pumpkin Demon version was hands down the Texas Chainsaw from NXT.
Oh, I love Pumpkin.
Yeah, I like the Jack the Ripper one.
Yeah, that one was
cool. But I'm an old school horror movie mark, so
yeah,
I'd like to see him tonight. One got me. I know they can't do the because he was really. I know. Remember when in Japan he did the Joker, he did the Punisher. I know they can't do any of those, but I'd like to see some sort of playoff, and not just the classic when he puts his head back, it looks like a mouth nonsense. But that's just kind of how it is. All right, so we're gonna move on to the next match, which is the United States title match between the underdog of all underdogs, nobody who ever thought the man could ever win a title in WWE and ever be something, is Sami Zayn, versus the hottest, honestly to me, the hottest up-and-coming, the absolute hottest up-and-coming talent that they have besides Obafemi and Trick Williams. And I'll kick it off where I think Trick Williams is going to win, even though I'm going to say it again because it's WWE. He might not win, but I think there is no other choice here, is that Trick Williams needs to win. He needs to win. I don't understand. I wouldn't understand it if you say to me, they decided that this WrestleMania, They're going to kill the pushes of all their young talent. After we went over all this and said they need to do something with youth, if you kill Trick and you kill Oba and you kill Javon, what do you have tomorrow at Monday Night Raw? If you tell me I'm going to bring up Sol Ruka and everyone's going to lose their minds and then everyone else is done, I'm going to tell you to go screw. So
no, they're going to bring in your favorite, Josh Briggs.
It doesn't matter. I don't care who they bring up. If you have a guy like Trick lose tonight, you have completely derailed your entire youth movement. If Oba loses, if Trick loses, let's say, you will destroy your youth movement. So I'm saying tonight, I am begging the Lord to have Trick win tonight because he should be the champ. I want him on the mic every day. I want him talking. I want him saying things every day. It is the greatest 5 minutes of my life when Trick talks. He is just amazing. I get a chuckle out of everything he says. Lemon pepper steppers is one of my favorite things he says. And I love that no one else knows, all the older idiots in WWE. I have no idea what that is. You're all morons. But still, I need him to win. I'm going to go up to you, Mr. Cincinnati. Give me your thoughts on this one first.
They're going to 50-50 the shit out of this. And God. I mean, we saw it last night, too, because, we're talking about the double turn here, which should happen. I mean, Trick Williams ain't been booed since he's been on the roster. And for people that, especially for a guy like Triple H, who, you're seeing these reactions, you've decided, God, I hate this. I usually try not to be this fucking negative and critical of things, but after last night, I think the concerns are warranted. Trick should win this match, absolutely. Especially, if you've got your company president saying, we talked about our youth movement and what we need to do to start elevating some other talent to work with these men that are in their 40s. Put your money where your fucking mouth is. What is the point of going out and doing the media tours and saying, oh, well, we talked about this, we talked about that, and we think that we need that, blah, 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 blah. Fuck it. Trick needs to win here. Sammy will probably do some fuckery post-match. You guys cement the heel turn. He did Haluva kick the gingerbread man Friday night. I thought that was a fun little segment. A little hokey, but, I like hokey every once in a while. And Sammy makes hokey work. But it's put the heel in chase mode this time. Let Trick get the win here. Even if you run it back at Backlash and Sammy takes the title off of him, whatever their June show, Clash in Paris or Clash in Italy is next. Run it back. Do a trilogy, but no, give this one to Trick here. Sami Zayn has already had some of the coolest WrestleMania moments that could possibly exist.
He's in the
do the right fucking thing
being
here.
In there for the only 1 out of 2 tag matches to main event the Mania.
Yeah. Defeated. He ended Gunther's fucking 660-day streak. There's.
Yeah. Absurd how much more they give this man who is supposed to be the underdog of everything. He never wins anything. Remember, he's the underdog. Podcast Dad, what do you got?
Sami Zayn's gonna win. They're gonna do the double turn, and Sami Zayn's gonna win, and it's gonna make you want Trick Williams to win that much more when he gets his next shot. I'm telling you, that's what's gonna happen. Not every title is gonna change hands on WrestleMania. Not every title gets to do that. We have witnessed this before. Sammy, think of all of the double turns you've seen in the past. When was the last time the heel lost it?
Yeah.
Sami Zayn's going to win, and it's going to make you hate Sami Zayn that much more and get you behind Trick. This is the only, besides the Brock Oba, this is the only good booking that I've seen from WrestleMania.
But what more could you possibly get out of a? The crowd's already fucking behind Trick. It's otherworldly chances he's already getting.
And they're going to give Trick the bigger spotlight to do this on. I know it's WrestleMania, but he's shoved in the middle of the card. This is a main event, a Backlash. This main event, a Clash in Paris. This could main event something else.
No.
Just end it. End the feud here. End it here. There's nothing else.
Let Trick win here, and then they can have Sammy do like he was saying and go and chase after a world title. I'm not saying put the belt on Sammy, but I'm saying have Sammy give the title to Trick, and then that way they can then push the story of Sammy chasing to want to go and be a world champ.
If you really want the truth, I'm going to tell you something that might upset people who love that. Sami Zayn's done. There's nothing else I need to see him do. I don't want to see him chasing for a world title. I don't want to hear him say again, hey, I really deserve this. I worked so hard. Shut up. You did it already. You've been in the company for almost 12 years. Like, there's no more underdog from the underground. There's no more nothing. You're Sami Zayn, either reinvent or come back to me when you're ready, because that's the end.
Solidifies it. He's going to beat Trick Williams and break everybody's heart. This is going to solidify it. I'm calling it now. Calling my shot.
I don't know. I'm now that we talk things through, as we go through all these matches, they all make sense. Either side, the cynical side makes more sense now than the actual, than the sensical side. The cynical side makes sense. The nonsensical side is going to take over for some reason. I don't get it. Why does the nonsensical side have to take over? The fans are sitting here.
Long-term booking. That's what they love that shit.
You will sell more tickets. You will sell more tickets if you do the right thing. I don't understand why they do the wrong thing.
They're going to sell more tickets because you want to see Trick beat his ass.
I don't want to see him beat his ass after he lost 3 times. Every time he loses, I don't want to see him come back and try to win again. That's what turns me off.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily looking for a return on this one either.
It's going to happen.
Again, youth movement.
They got to fill hours and hours and hours of television. This is
you have so much talent. You can fill it with other things.
Yeah, and how many did they leave off the card for all these celebrities?
Now I'm worried about Danhausen.
I love.
Yeah, but we didn't see him once last night.
Tonight. He's tonight.
No, we should get him tonight.
He's been everywhere.
If we don't get Danhausen tonight, I swear.
What happened to the match between it? What happened to the handicap match he was supposed to be in? Wasn't he supposed to be him versus? It was supposed to be him versus Miz and Kit Wilson. That was supposed to be on WrestleMania. It was.
Jelly rolled to be on.
Hey.
What'd you say, Tim?
This is news to me. I didn't hear nothing on that.
Of course, it was out everywhere all week. It was out, he was supposed to have a handicap match against Kit Wilson and The Miz.
Maybe that'll be an impromptu since there's only 6 matches tonight.
That would probably work. You're right. Instead of giving me John Cena coming out, and announcing Bianca's pregnancy, maybe we could have Danhausen wrestle. That was the thing that she could have shared at the top of the stage. She didn't have to come down to the ring and do that. She could have.
The best part of night one.
No, I love that. That was great.
The best part of night one.
They kept it fucking quiet.
She came out like that.
Coming out.
My timeline was blowing up. Like, oh my god, she's in a big coat.
I'm saying I'm all for her coming out. I'm all for her coming out. I'm saying it could have been done on the stage. It could have been a little shorter, and then we could have moved on to another match instead of another ad or another lying to me about how many people were in the arena. So, anyway, all right. So, speaking of the women's title, we're going to move to the next spot. We have Rhea Ripley versus champion Jade Cargill. And I am going to say a few things that I don't care about this match one bit. I do think Rhea's going to win because it's her time. She should hold the title. And I think Jade, I love the spectacle of Jade Cargill. I love her as a one-off, I can wrestle every 3 weeks. When her intro is amazing, she looks great. I love the spectacle that is Jade Cargill. I don't need her to be champion. It doesn't do anything for me. So I'm going to go over to Chris, podcast dad. Your opinions on this one first.
Yeah, I'm going to credit Mr. Cincinnati on this one because there's a theory out there that, Jade has her 2 goons to help her. Io's going to come out and try to help Rhea, and then Io's going to turn heel.
Oh.
And then we get Rhea and Io feuding, and Jade does her own thing. I love that idea. Bianca being out of the picture and Naomi being out of the picture now kind of hurts that idea a little bit. But I want to roll with that because that would be more interesting than anything. Is give me Rhea and Io feuding for a while and then let Jade do something else. Maybe that is an NXT call up, something like that, right? So I will take Jade, hoping for an Io heel turn.
I like that. Actually, I love that how you laid that out. That would actually make me that would be an exciting match ending if that happens and everyone's fighting. I would love that. I would love it. That's why I don't think it's going to happen, but I would love that.
That would really be good, especially the last time Io worked heel was when she first started reinventing herself and then she started getting the music she has now. Because that was when she was just starting with the NXT championship when she went off on that one fan that tried to make the racial remark to her. Wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't remember that. But you're
Yeah, because weird things I remember because she was, and some guy tried making some racist remark to her about, and she was like, "I'm Japanese, bitch," and then
or something.
Yeah, he said go back to Korea or something. Yeah.
Eric, what do you got for me?
She was heel in Damage Control, like when Bailey won the title.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was kind of like the popular heel though. So does that really count though?
Aren't they all popular heels?
Yeah, it's like the cool bad guy. The only one that made a cool bad guy look good was Scott Hall though.
I don't know. There's plenty of cool. There's no more bad guys. So I would say they're all tweeners or they're not. You're either that like, come on, baby face, or you're a tweener. That's all you got. There's no in between anymore.
Yeah,
Mr. Cincinnati, what do you got?
I don't know. My confidence in the system is just shot at this point. You look
defeated.
I threw this idea out on our show. Yeah, but I was also way more excited for WrestleMania then than I am now. I still hold by. I think that there should be an EO turn. Just to leave her off the card altogether is just a crime.
Yep.
If this is something that gets her on TV, I'm all for it, and I would love to see it happen. Jade has not been a good women's champion. I can't point to a single title defense that's okay. That's your best one to date. We're seeing the level up. She's still very protected as far as presentation, match time, and frequency of matches. But I understand why we're having this match. Again, no Naomi, no Bianca. You don't really want to run it back with Tiffany because she's already beaten her on TV. That you don't. I'm not going to pay $30 to see it again. This is it's the one marquee match that they didn't really have a choice but to book this particular match because everybody loves Rhea, so it was going to be a shot in the arm. The build has been average. The addition of Michin and BFAT, I thought that was fun. I want to see them stay with Jade, even if she does lose tonight. I still think if we go with the EO turn theory, you can still do that when Rhea wins the title because it's just running it back to last year, and Rhea has never beaten EO in singles competition. There's your story right there. Is that if you were going to put the title on Rhea, this can be a first program. I understand they still want to try to do Asuka and Io. Hopefully they'll want to do that at Backlash since, they're not getting any time here. I'm going to go Rhea.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm with you. I don't see any reason to have Jade hold the title anymore, honestly. And I think you need to have some, and by the way, something I noticed last night, all the women's titles changes hands. None of the men's titles change hands. So, and I think tonight there may be a little bit of a difference. You may have a bunch of titles changing hands, but last night, none of the men's titles changed, only the women's. They seem to hotshot like the women's tag titles, whatever. They're relevant titles. You could literally make those titles say anything. You could call them the intergalactic, super universe women's titles, and everybody would still be like, who cares? But tonight, I think if you want to have a strong face on SmackDown, who's going to be, but you also run into this problem. Both women, and this isn't speaking out of turn, are very injury prone where that you don't see them on television enough. Yeah. You just don't. They don't wrestle enough. Rhea doesn't wrestle enough. She really doesn't. When was the last time you saw her just do a random one-on-one match? Everything has to be like this drawn out. Rhea comes in the ring. She has to talk. She's always in street clothes. She's never in wrestling gear. And then she gets in the ring. I just think she's going to win. You need her on TV. Everybody loves her. She has to be, after this, she's got to be on TV. And if you don't have her on TV every week, what did you do the change for? Then you just had the same thing as Jade, where everyone's like, when is she going to wrestle? So all your champions need to be on TV every week. Whether the world title, they don't have to wrestle every week, but they need to be on television to remind people that there is something here of value. So that's what I think. All right, let's get into the main event because honestly, I don't mind the build. I think there was too much talking where they used up all their bullets way too early before leading up to this. I think some of the promos were good, but they should have been later on in the feud. So I think right now, what we're going to do is we're going to go to the main event, CM Punk, champion versus Roman Reigns. And let's get into it. Tim, I'm letting you lead us off. What do you got?
I am 100% pulling for. Honestly, I got to say, I really would like to see Punk win this one just because the way the story's built, it's more like the way Punk has been describing it, almost kind of like Roman as the young boy trying to overstep his boundaries, trying to punch higher than where he's at, and Punk saying, whoa, hold on there, fuck nuts. You don't get to go and call the shots, I do. Basically kind of like that. And I like that kind of idea for a story. And they have Punk win on Monday. Then they can go and start setting up a new match, a new story for Backlash coming up with quite literally anyone else in the locker room. You know, they could even set up a rematch between Punk and Gunther.
I would never want to see that again.
I'm just saying they could.
I don't want to see Punk versus Gunther ever. That could be the slowest match ever. I do not want to see a match like that ever again. I think the title will be off of one of these guys way before we get to Gunther and way before you get to Oba. So, all right. So, let's see. I'm going up to Mr. Cincinnati.
Give me Roman. He's not leaving WWE. The stipulation kind of telegraphs it. Same thing with McAfee last night. Like, no. No, and especially with Roman saying there's still so much that I feel like I can do now that everybody's, asking me about my age, and then, listing the wrestlers that he wants to work with in the future. No. Punk has been a fine champion, but we didn't necessarily need the 434-day title run for it to have an impact on the roster here. I mean, he came back. His goal is to win the world title. He's done that twice already.
Yep.
I while I'm not crazy about the idea of the title going back on Roman, because if he does win tonight, he'll show up tomorrow, but then we won't see him again for maybe another 6 or 7, maybe 8 weeks. And, back to the part-time. The part-time championship thing, I'm not really looking forward to again. But I mean, if you're going to telegraph it with the fucking stipulations, Roman.
Podcast Dad, what do you got?
Hit the nail on the head. Roman's not leaving WWE. What are we talking about here? Like, there's going to be some kind of heel faction that comes out of this. I'm telling you now. Some kind of corporation group that's coming out of this.
Oh, no.
Roman Reigns wins. We're going to get WWE versus TKO or some bullshit. Like,
no.
Yes.
No. What are you saying?
Yes.
What is that? What is
What's
that?
happening? It's happening.
No.
Calling it. It's happening.
What does that mean?
Are you
because we are
saying,
setting up. Where is WrestleMania next year?
NWO versus NWO Wolfpack.
Wait, WrestleMania's in Riyadh, and I'm calling it the irrelevant WrestleMania next year.
And we're finally gonna get Rock and Roman. That's what we're all setting up to. Look.
How come they get Rock and Roman? I want Rock.
Because they pay way more money.
Wait, are you sure? Because Jesus, we pay a lot of money in tickets.
Yep, that's what's happening. Look, Roman's winning. I hope it's a good match.
Paying several billions.
I hope it's a good match. The build has been very good. The go home promo was a little weird, but the build has been very good. I want a good match. I know it's not going to be a 5-star classic. We know this, but just give me a good match. That's all I'm asking for. Please don't be slow as shit.
You know what made me sad? When did and I think years ago, I think this has happened with the invention of social media and such. Why all of a sudden, and this is, am I wrong? Why do you have to apologize for a promo that you're cutting on somebody? Like, he had to come out and say he had to come out and say that thing about Roman's dad and everything, and then had to come out and say, I respect. What are we doing? They're promos. You're acting. Does an actor apologize to another actor for the lines he was written? Everything is written. What are you apologizing for? Shut up. Like, stop apologizing. Just run your lines. You be your character. He's his character. And when you get to the back, you shake hands. Hey, that was cool. Good running lines with you out there. What are you taking everything so personally for? What happened to these guys? Yeah, egos. What happened?
That's it. It's egos. Like, you think Rock and Austin were out there apologizing? Like, no,
never.
It's just
never ever. These guys ripped each other apart, and then they went in the back and they went, "We're making money, boys. We're making money," and everyone said yes, and then they moved on. And now guys are apologizing for saying things about someone's divorce and then saying something about someone's dad, and this is not the way to do it, and blah blah blah. Well, write better stuff. If you don't like what they're saying, write something different. They have to do what you say. They're just employees. So when they come to the back, it's all over. It's not real. Let's just be honest.
People
I don't
have
like
been getting touchy about that ever since the whole Charlotte bashing Paige.
I think before that,
Paige bashing Charlotte's brother about being dead type.
Yeah, I mean, this is supposed to be. You're supposed to be doing it like Punk. You don't have to apologize to Roman. We get what you were saying. It's all good. You were doing stuff for the build. It's written. It's not real. Your name isn't CM Punk. We move on. I don't understand the apologies. Let's keep us in it, because I really like this feud. I really enjoyed the promos. I didn't get the final promo. You're right. I didn't understand it. But I think Roman's going to win. I think there's no way Punk keeps the belt, just because I think they love their cash cow. Roman's a cash cow. Punk sells a ton of merch too, but Roman, everybody wants to put their finger up and be, acknowledged. So I think your guys are right. I am more than happy to see Roman the title change. I don't mind either guy holding it. I think both of them are big stars, and you could have any feud with either one of these guys with anybody on the roster, and it would be good. So, except for Punk versus Gunther, without a belt, there's no reason for it. But if there's a title online and Gunther's going to win it, go right ahead. But everything else is what it is. So I think we are all. I don't think I'm wrong here with saying we are all very cautious about tonight. We're ready to have our hearts broken in a lot of this ways, but we're also cautious, saying maybe something good will happen. I don't know. I don't think I felt this down about another show. This year just has felt this WrestleMania has not felt good either way.
Yeah, I'm ready to send out some angry tweets.
I don't normally tweet because I'm not. That's not me. But I was so I was so disappointed last night. Like, it was just like, why? What are we doing? Why does this stink? It shouldn't stink. It's wrestling.
Yeah, can't wait for cancel WWE Network.
This low for a wrestling show since I was watching WCW in the 2000s.
Oh, I loved everything about WCW in the 2000s.
I mean, don't get me wrong. The complete randomness was fun to see, but the expectation
above average Mike Sanders was the greatest. Okay, so we don't even need to. He was one of my favorites. He really was. That interview with Mean Gene will never get old.
The debacle that was, but
the Mean Gene, that Mike Sanders making fun of Conan bit, where he tells Mean Gene that's enough, was still one of my favorite things I've ever seen in my life. So anyway, so last words, Mr. Cincinnati, I'm starting with you. Last words on tonight.
Pray.
Podcast that. Last words. Same thing.
Don't fuck this up.
Pray.
Don't fuck this up.
Pray it's good. Vicious, what do you got for us? Last words.
Please, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Gandhi, Zeus, the guy that fixed my radiator during the winter, don't let this shit go sideways.
I have a feeling. I don't think sideways is the problem here. I honestly think disappointment is going to be the worst part for us wrestling fans who are just begging for something fun, when honestly, I don't think WWE's been that bad. Everybody said it's had a bad year. I don't think it's been that bad. I just think that we're in a spot where you're turning to a spot where no one wants to go with you. We don't want to go with you. Yeah.
It's changing compared to what we've become accustomed to.
Well, even the kids aren't digging it. If you don't have the kids getting as excited, John Cena's gone. Everybody did the Oba dance at the entrance ramp at WWE World. There was, and another thing I was sad about was that there was only one guy who did Kit Wilson. Everybody did Oba. So I am saying you're right. Watch. Everybody got their faces painted like Danhausen. Everybody listen to the fans for once. Stop thinking you know better. Nick Khan, don't talk anymore. You're not a wrestling guy. You're a TV guy. Let someone else do the wrestling. Don't talk. I don't want to hear you don't watch Twitter. You look at Twitter. I don't want to hear that you don't do this. You don't listen to these fans. You do. Everybody does. So you're in a media business. Watch what the fans are saying. If you screw this up, honestly, I don't think I felt this uncomfortable at wrestling since like 2016. Was that when Vince was really ruining it? 2017.
I gotta say, like maybe 13 or 14, back when he had like the Muppets as a guest host for Raw.
I didn't mind the guest hosts. I thought they were ridiculous and dumb, but I didn't mind.
That's a whole other bag of worms. Let's not get into that right now. That's a whole other hour.
Hosting Raw, that's when you just got to sit there and be like, dude, seriously, what the hell?
I'm just saying. So everyone who's watching as we come to a close tonight, pray. Let's stay optimistic. We all want this. But next week on the Main Event Network, everybody, we are on the road to 400. We are at 329. We have one more. Subscribe. Tell your friends. Do everything the junkies tell you to do. Tell your friends. Tell your friends' friends. Subscribe. Come join us. We will talk to you. You can comment. You can say whatever you want to us. You don't like our takes, whatever. Somebody called me a racist the other day on TikTok because I like Obafemi for making up for Keith Lee. It is what it is. And you know what? You people, we like interacting. Say what you want. Let's all have a good time with wrestling this week. We don't want to come on next week. I am praying we all don't come on next week and are just sad. All I want is for us to be happy after tonight. Let's watch wrestling together. Everybody have a great WrestleMania night too. And we will see you this week on the Main Event Network. Guys, you want to give your plugs? Or did we do it? Miss Cincinnati, give your plugs.
No, we didn't plug yet.
At Junkies Pod, at Wrestling Junkies Pod. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. New episode tomorrow.
Nice. Vicious.
On the socials, Tim Vicious, 99.9% of the time you go on a social, look for Tim Vicious. It's me. My YouTube is youtube.com, Tim23, the number 2, the number 3 Vicious. I brought it up yesterday. I'm going to say it again today. If my channel can break over 1,000 subscribers before SummerSlam, I am no shame in my game. I am horrible at any kind of dance whatsoever. I got no left feet. I'll put up a video of my friend trying to teach me on how to twerk. Because I have zero shame in embarrassing myself for all you people. If y'all see all the Main Event, you know what I mean.
And you can follow me over on Indie Wrestling Guide, IW Guide 1 on Twitter, and the NXT Night Shift on Twitter and on Instagram and on TikTok and NXT Night Shift shorts and everything else. So come join us.
Very believed too.
What's that?
Junkies 500 episode on Wednesday, by the way.
Oh, hell yeah. Junkies 500 people.
Congratulations.
Tune in. That's great. Wow, 500, you lunatics. You're like the NCIS of the Main Event Network. You guys just keep hammering it out. Yeah. That's right. So, all right. So, and follow us, NXT Night Shift Tuesday nights. We're live at 10:15. The IW Guide, Indie Wrestling Guide. Thursdays, we're reviewing ETU's women's tournament, the Coastal Championship that they gave out. And so we'll be on that on Thursday. Everybody check us out on the network. Again, have a great day, everyone. Enjoy WrestleMania Night 2. Let's stay positive and we pray. We'll talk to you soon.